Hello, everyone. So I was scrolling on my TikTok For You page and I kept coming across these videos on my For You page where delivery drivers were saying that people's children were safe around them. And at first I thought, okay, sure. It was kind of giving some weird vibes because I had no context to them. But then I continued to keep getting these videos on my For You page, so I decided to look into why people were creating these videos to begin with. And what I found is horrific. On November 30th, 7-year-old Athena Strand would go missing, and her kidnapper would shock the country. At 4:15 p.m. that day, Athena hopped off her school bus and headed inside of her father's home. Sometime after this, Athena and her stepmother, Elizabeth Ashley Strand, would end up getting into an argument, which is said to occur quite often, which honestly I'm not that surprised by. There are a lot of 7-year-olds who think they're teenagers, and I didn't really see this as a red flag. But note, her father, Jacob, was not home at the time of her disappearance. According to what Elizabeth would later tell authorities, she last seen her stepdaughter Athena around 5:45 p.m. And she's seen Athena inside of this bedroom/converted storage shed, and that's what Athena and her stepsister would call their bedroom, while Athena's father was renovating the home. Elizabeth would tell Athena to start organizing her dirty clothes for laundry, and then she headed inside of the home to start preparing dinner. About 20 to 30 minutes later, though, Elizabeth went to go check on Athena, but Athena was not in her room. Nothing looked out of place in her bedroom, but Elizabeth couldn't find Athena. She immediately started searching the 6-acre property, and then she called over to her brother and sister-in-law's home across the road to ask them if they had seen Athena, but they hadn't seen her either. Next, she called her husband Jacob to let him know what was going on, but he was currently driving to San Antonio for a hunting trip with his father. Athena's father was thought to have been somewhere southeast of Fort Worth at the time of this phone call, and he told his wife to immediately call 911. And while she called 911, he immediately turned around and started heading back home. Around 6:40 p.m. that day on November 30th, Elizabeth would report her stepdaughter Athena missing. Shortly after, authorities would arrive, and then shortly after that, Jacob would arrive at the home as well. Police would quickly arrive, and they brought a lot of manpower with them. Not only were police searching, but EMS was searching. There were volunteer firefighters as well as search dogs. And as the night grew darker, they brought in thermal imaging equipment that they could use in the air to look down on the ground and see if they could find Athena that way. Scent dogs would alert around Athena's home, but they wouldn't go outside of the property, which was very concerning. At this point, knowing what we know, that the search dogs weren't going outside the perimeter of the home, the only person home was the stepmother. It was giving very much Letitia Stauch vibes, but it wouldn't be the stepmother. The search for Athena would end in the wee hours of the morning around 4:30 a.m., but it would start again only a few hours later with over 200 citizens joining in the search. Around 50 acres would be searched for Athena, but she was still nowhere to be found. Thursday afternoon, an Amber Alert would finally be released for 7-year-old Athena, describing Athena as endangered, stating that she had last been seen wearing a gray-black long-sleeve shirt, blue jeans with flowers in the front pockets, and brown boots. At this point, the FBI, Texas DPS, the U.S. Marshals, and Texas Rangers were all involved in assisting in the search for Athena. Again, that is a lot of manpower. Yet still Athena was not being found. Both Athena's father, Jacob, and her stepmother, Elizabeth, were both said to have been cooperating with the investigation. But Athena's mother, Maitland Gandy, and her aunt Keelan weren't so sure that things were adding up. And they were very insistent that Athena wouldn't wander off. According to Aunt Keelan, and I quote, "Athena may have been upset with her father for leaving to go hunting. We're not sure if she's been abducted, but we just want everyone to keep an eye out and bring her home safe to us." So what happened to little Athena? And how does this tie in with the TikTok videos I was seeing? According to the affidavit, during the course of the investigation, it was discovered that a FedEx package had been delivered during the time when Athena had went missing. Investigators ended up working with a contracting company that would also help deliver packages for FedEx to determine which van and which driver had made that delivery that day. They also learned that this truck was actually equipped with cameras, and these cameras would capture 1-minute clips. An employee with the FBI would end up analyzing these videos coming from that FedEx truck and found, and I quote, "The driver had taken a young girl who was visibly similar to Athena in his van," end quote. It turns out that after Athena had that fight with her stepmother, she somehow ended up wandering off to the front yard. Around that time, a FedEx driver was making his rounds in the area and actually ended up having a package to deliver to the Strand home. Behind the wheel was 31-year-old Tanner Lynn Horner. And Tanner had a package to deliver to the Strand home that would turn out to be a Christmas present for Athena that contained a pack of Barbie dolls. As Tanner would end up backing into the driveway, he didn't see Athena and somehow ended up backing into her and hitting her with his truck. But allegedly, Athena was miraculously not that seriously injured at all. So if she wasn't injured and she had maybe just, bumped into it, fell over or something, you think that he would get out, dust her off, make sure she's okay, and, go let her parents know, like, hey, like, she hit the truck, like, she seems fine, I'm very sorry, like, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. I mean, he did hit her, which is terrible, but if she's fine, I mean, it's an accident. Accidents do happen. Or, he could have just dropped the package off and left if she really wasn't, injured. Maybe she wouldn't have said anything, or she would have, and I don't know if she was fine, what might have happened, I don't know. But I guess hindsight's 2020, because Tanner allegedly panicked, thinking that Athena was going to tell her father that she had been hit by the FedEx truck. And this grown-ass man got scared that he was going to get in trouble, so instead of letting this little girl live her life, he decided to kidnap her and murder her. Tanner would end up picking up Athena and placing her inside of his truck. Surveillance video from Tanner's truck would show him talking to Athena. He asked her name, and she told him that her name was Athena. So clearly she was okay to sit in the back of the truck and chat. So why did this escalate? Because after this, for whatever sick and twisted reason in this man's head, he decided to attempt to break the 7-year-old's neck. Now, I don't even know how you go about trying to break a 7-year-old's neck, let alone any person's neck, but that couldn't have been fun for Athena. That must have been very painful, whatever he attempted to do. But whatever he did attempt to do didn't work. Again, I am just mind blown by this, because if she wasn't injured from the truck, now you're injuring her further, so now you're definitely going to get in trouble. Like, the logic is just not there. And when trying to break her neck didn't work, he went and strangled her manually with his bare hands inside of the back of his FedEx truck. This case is absolutely senseless. It's not like he ran her over and she was going to die and he was scared of going to jail for murder. No, she was apparently perfectly fine. Maybe she had a little scrape or something. I don't know, because I haven't seen that said. But she didn't have any serious injuries. So why would you decide to hurt her if she wasn't hurt because you were scared of being caught for hurting her? Like, it's just backwards. My only way of trying to understand this is maybe he was under the influence, maybe he was high on something. So when he did hit her, and if he was under the influence or high, he was scared that she was gonna go tell and then he would get, a DUI or something. I don't know, that's just where my mind goes to try to make sense of all of this, because why would any normal person connect the dots like that and just think, oh, okay, I'm just gonna murder her then because I don't want to get in trouble for hitting her? Like, what? And the fact that he attempted to break her neck is just, this man seriously needs to be in someplace worse than jail. Tanner would end up confessing to police and telling them where he put Athena's body. And her body would end up being found 11 miles away from her home in the city of Boyd. This beautiful little girl had been left in the water on the edge of Trinity River. I want to take a moment to remember who this beautiful little girl was and who she still should have been becoming. 7-year-old Athena was a first grader described as very loving and a friendly kid who loved people and flowers. She was a girly girl and loved to ride horses with her aunt. Her favorite holiday was Christmas, something that she should have been celebrating in just a couple weeks. Athena's mother, Maitland, would be quoted saying, "Athena was robbed of the opportunity to be anything she wanted to be. I was robbed of watching her grow up by a man that everyone was supposed to be able to trust to do one simple task: deliver a Christmas present and leave." And it's true. That's all he was supposed to do. Athena's mother is now trying to push FedEx to have stricter screening rules when they're hiring, although I'm not sure if this man Tanner would have been flagged if he was screened at all. I haven't seen anything come out to say that he had a history of anything. Now, something may come out, or there might be something out there that I just couldn't see. Again, what I'm kind of leaning towards is maybe he was under the influence of something, and that's why he jumped to this insane conclusion of deciding to murder her so he wouldn't get in trouble for a DUI. But I just don't understand people's logic. It's like the men that murder their wives and children so that they could go cheat and like have a better life with someone else. Like, why wouldn't you just divorce them? Why do you think murder is better than a divorce? I don't get it. It's the same in this situation. Why did you think murdering her would be better than just bumping her with your truck? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. and I don't think I ever will. Tanner Horner is currently being held on a $1.5 million bond on the Wise County Jail. He faces the charges of capital murder of a person under 10 years old and aggravated kidnapping. Because again, that's better than bumping her with your truck. Like, God. And on top of that, prosecutors are looking into pursuing the death penalty. I don't even know how to end this video at this point because my brain hurts trying to understand the logic of anything that Tanner Horner did. Let me know how you all feel about this below. Are you just as baffled and confused as I am? I didn't think a simple TikTok video was going to take me down this route, but it did, and here we are now. I don't think every FedEx driver is evil or bad, just like I don't think any, stepmother's bad, or babysitter, or teacher, or priest. Like, the list could go on. Someone's profession doesn't dictate they're going to be a murderer in some cases. I think there's definitely, some career paths that are a little more prone to it, but this is the tragic case of Athena Strand. Have you seen the TikToks on your For You page, or is it just me? I do watch a lot of true crime on there, so I shouldn't have been shocked when it led to a true crime case. I think this case is really scary because it does show that you never know where evil lurks. In this case, it lurked behind the eyes of a man driving a FedEx truck. With that, if you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It does allow me to continue to create videos like this, tell these stories, and hopefully help spread the word on these cases. I hope you all stay safe out there. Make sure your windows and doors are locked, and let's all keep little Athena and her family in your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.